The fact is that 24 hours later, we still don't know who did this. This is what authorities have so far. Well, Nitin Gokhale is in Mumbai and joins us for the latest on that story. Nitin, basically, it's anybody's guess at the moment, isn't it, about who did this?
Well, yes, certainly the police and investigators are groping in the dark at the moment. But there is a certain direction that the investigators are taking. Sources in intelligence and police are telling us three vital things that they are now looking at. They've now come to a conclusion that the group that carried out this series of attacks is a very small group, much smaller than ever before. So this group did not either talk on mobile phones or landline phones and didn't even communicate on emails, unlike the perpetrators of earlier attacks in India. That makes it much more difficult for police to track them down. The level of sophistication of that operation has also boggled the investigators. They are saying that the perpetrators were very, very careful in how they moved around. For instance, the operatives seem to have known the terrain in Mumbai very well. They knew which are the congested areas, which will be crowded, how the people move, the habits of the people. They also took the advantage of the weather yesterday when it was raining very heavily. Although the CCTV footage in Zaveri Bazaar had recorded everything in that small bylane, that congested bylane, the very fact that everyone there walking there was using an umbrella makes it much more difficult for the police to spot any suspicious activity or anybody trying to plant anything suspicious there. So a very familiar operation, people who are familiar with Bombay have carried this operation. Those who are familiar with Mumbai, that is one conclusion. They are also looking at fringe elements of remnants of Simi, the old organization, as well as the fringe elements of the Indian Mujahideen, and police teams have been spread out to Azamgarh in Uttar Pradesh and Bhatkal in Karnataka, for instance. So nothing is being ruled out, but certainly the needle of suspicion going to the old suspects, as it were. Nidhi?
All right, Nitin, thanks a lot for that update. And of course, it is the human dimension to this story that is the most tragic. There is unimaginable grief at the moment for the families of those who've died and for the city that has been shaken again and again by the cycle of terror.
The grief and emptiness that inevitably follows Mumbai's terror strikes.
Well, here at the JJ Hospital morgue, lots of families waiting to collect the bodies of their loved ones and take them home for the final rites. राजाराम जी बताइए, आप कब से वेट कर रहे हैं? बताएंगे मतलब किसकी बॉडी?
हम लोग पूरा, वो मेरा भांजा है, पूरा रात उधर पूरा फैमिली है और 2-3 गाँव एक साथ में है, तो भी इधर बोलता है 4-5 बॉडी हम तुम्हारे आगे है।
आपका भांजा कहाँ पे था, मतलब ये हादसा हुआ था?
वो उधर काम करता था,
किधर?
पंचरत्न के उधर। शादीशुदा है, 27 साल है।
Tushar Kolbe was a peon at a diamond cutting firm. He had been married for just over a year.
उसका माँ पिताजी भी है, उनको चक्कर आया और वो घर पे गया, हम लोग छोड़ने को गया खुद।
क्या हुआ, अभी हो गया परफॉर्मेंस?
किसी बात तो कर ही नहीं पा रही है। अब बच्चा है, बच्चे को अभी तक हमने बताया नहीं है कि ऐसा हो गया। हमने यही बताया कि वो हॉस्पिटल में 2-3 दिन में आ जाएंगे।
Broker Tushar Shah, 44, had stepped out of work for a cup of tea. It's a neighborhood he had grown up and worked in. He did not make it back from that familiar lane, from that tea break.
जब बम ब्लास्ट हुआ था उस समय मैं खुद भी वहीं था और 5 मिनट पहले ही हम लोग की मुलाकात हुई थी। और जैसे ही ब्लास्ट हुआ मेरे दिमाग में आया कि क्योंकि वो बाहर की साइड ही गया होगा, उसमें मैंने फ़ोन किए कंटिन्यूस, लेकिन उसका फ़ोन एक तो रीच नहीं हो रहा था और जब रीच हुआ तो कोई उठा नहीं रहा था। आज कसाब जैसे टेरेस को उसके पीछे 100 करोड़ रुपए बर्बाद कर सकते हैं, लेकिन एक 10 एम्बुलेंस हॉस्पिटल में प्रोवाइड नहीं कर सकते हैं।
आज दिन तक कोई नेता नहीं मरा मैडम, मरे हैं तो सब पब्लिक मरी है।
क्या होता है कि हम टीवी पे देखते हैं कि ये ब्लास्ट हुआ, ये मर गए, तब हम एक देख के अफसोस करते हैं। जब किसी का अपना जाता है वो उसके ऊपर जो फेसिंग होती है वो ही जान सकता है, दूसरा कोई जान नहीं सकता। जब हमारा कानून सख्त है नहीं, करने वाले बेखौफ है, मरते हैं, आम लोग मरते हैं, निर्दोष लोग मरते हैं।
Well, there was a series of political reactions through the day as well. Senior BJP leader L.K. Advani came out today and attacked Pakistan and called the Mumbai blasts basically a policy failure of the UPA government, even though there's no evidence to suggest that this terror attack had anything to do with Pakistan at the moment. Rahul Gandhi later spoke and he said that the UPA government had done whatever it could to prevent terrorist attacks, but you can't prevent every attack from happening. But reacting to Rahul Gandhi's statement later, Praful Patel of the NCP said that we don't need to be helpless, that there are steps that can be taken to make sure this doesn't happen.
This repeated attack on Bombay should be viewed essentially as a policy failure. It's not an intelligence failure.
It is very difficult to stop every single terrorist attack. We will stop 99% of attacks. But 1% of attacks might get through. That is what I'm saying.
I certainly agree that in large metropolitan areas where we have large populations, large slums, and all these kind of difficulties in being able to effectively tackle crime and terror. But at the same time, we cannot look at it as a permanent disability. We will have to find ways and means to be able to stop these kind of terror attacks, especially in the larger urban areas.